My name is Alex Arnall. I'm an Associate Professor in Environment and Development at the University of Reading. Research is about trying to understand how societies and people, how they respond to environmental shocks and stresses in different parts of the world. A lot of my research takes place in sub-Saharan Africa, particularly in Mozambique. And a lot of the work I've been doing recently is with small-scale farmers, trying to understand how they sort of anticipate, plan for, and sort of cope with and respond to, for example, drought or flood, and how they try to secure food production and food consumption during these difficult periods. So yes, a lot of my research focuses on those issues. The main way that complexity features in my research is just through the fact that these farming communities that I'm looking at themselves are complex. So often there's an assumption that because people are subsistence, food producers, that the lives they live are somehow quite simple. Whereas in fact, they can be very complex, the way that people spread their activities across the landscape, the way that people manage their farming activities and respond to shocks and stresses. And it can be quite a complex undertaking trying to understand all of that. In addition, sometimes it can be quite difficult working out what's actually going on, when farmers make certain decisions about what crops to grow and what foods to eat, whether these are responses to environmental change or other kinds of stresses or shocks that they're managing. It's because the farmers I'm looking at aren't just producing food. That's of course an important activity, but they're actually themselves engaged in quite a complex food system. So it helps me to move beyond just thinking about food production to the other aspects, these other issues or challenges that farmers can face to do with marketing their food, storing their food, getting food to eat, supplementing their diets, that kind of thing. Fits into Reading University in a number of ways. The main ways really is kind of feeding into what the schools are doing at Reading. So we have a large school of agriculture policy and development, which of course food and food systems play a major role in that school. Also we have a school of food and nutritional science, which again is a large, well-recognized school, and clearly food plays an important part in that. And particularly in agricultural policy and development and food and nutritional sciences, many students who come into the schools are looking to, when they graduate, to get good jobs, of course. So IFSTAL is playing a really sort of valuable role in helping these students to kind of upskill and put themselves ahead of other students in the graduate market. What we're trying to do is to facilitate cross-disciplinary engagement and learning. And often when we think about that, we just think about that in terms of what staff are doing and research. But of course now we're trying to do that with teaching as well, and actually bringing students from different disciplines together. So IFSTAL's got a really positive role to play in terms of doing that and facilitating linkages, not just within Reading University, but between Reading and other universities as well. And that's something that the students really enjoy, is going out and visiting students from other universities. I think it can be quite illuminating for them to go out and have these experiences.